Good afternoon and welcome back. We're in a different room today because I don't know what. Does that look okay? My room is trashed. Oh, people are playing sport. Oh, baseball. How is baseball even a thing? Oh, there's soccer on. Anyway, my spare room is actually trashed. Like, I bought a bunch of stuff and you know when you just chuck stuff in a room and you're like, I'll deal with it later, and then later it's just like never comes because you're just lazy forever. So we're in the bedroom today for more experienced chats. I actually haven't planned what I'm even talking about because I kind of wanted to just be, I kind of wanted to just be very like an actual chat. Like, I don't want it to be too formal or anything, and I feel like to be able to give my experience, it's like you can't really keep plan it, you know? I mean, I could probably plan it, but it's more fun this way. So don't mind me, I've just come back from the gym. My actual hair is not looking too bad. It's washed, so that's why it doesn't look so bad. When it's sweaty, it's just like, it will just stay like that. Like, it will just stay like that all day. It's disgusting. Okay, let me have a look in my little notes. So, something that, can you see my leg? Yeah, okay. Something that, oh no, I've been putting marks all over the wall. So something that some of you probably have noticed from my Instagram is that I'm gluten-free. Well, I try to be gluten-free. And you're probably like, why the F are you gluten-free? So I think years and years ago, I did go gluten-free for a bit just because, like, you know, when it was like all the craze. So I did already kind of know about gluten and gluten-free and gluten intolerant and celiac and that kind of thing. Last year when I was dieting, I was also trying to like look after my gut and that kind of thing. And I have like a sneaky suspicion that I have SIBO, and it can kind of cause gluten intolerance. And I just thought, as a way to see, obviously to see if you're gluten intolerant, you kind of have to eliminate it and then bring it back in and see how you go. So I thought I would do that. So then I was like very strict to gluten-free, and now I'm just like mostly gluten-free. I would say probably like 60 or 70% of my diet would be gluten-free. So I thought I would just touch on that because, I don't know, I don't want people getting the idea that it's like doing it for I'm doing it for my health, but like it's not healthy to be gluten-free. So I thought I'd just explain my experience with going gluten-free and see if like you have anything similar or if you're just curious. So yeah, when I did go completely gluten-free, I wouldn't say like I felt heaps better because I was dieting as well. So and it was like the middle of the pandemic. So I mean, I didn't notice any crazy like positive symptoms, but I did notice that when I would have gluten again, like I would get really bloated, like a lot of like pain. It literally feels like, especially if I eat like a big meal of gluten, like bread, it literally feels like it drops to the bottom of my gut and it's just sitting there and just like a ball of just pain. And obviously feel very tired and you know, feel a bit like drowsy and groggy and gross. So if I have a little bit, it's not too bad, but back then, yeah, I was trying to be like completely, and that's when I would notice it. And then really now the only time I have it is when I have junk food, because like kind of when I have junk food, everything just goes out the window. Like I'll usually have dairy too, gluten, that kind of thing. And obviously those junk food meals are like normally full of like fat and stuff anyway, so I'm obviously going to feel like complete shit afterwards. But yeah, that's when I sort of just be like, oh, who cares kind of thing, which I know is like not the best attitude to have about it, but that's just what I do, and I feel like a lot of people probably do the same thing. So when I first went gluten-free last year, all I really did was like swap things out. So I was already on quite a strict diet, like I had to be really careful with my carbs and that kind of thing. So I wasn't really having much bread or anything anyway. I was mainly just, you know, like say corn chips, which are gluten-free, and rice, that kind of thing. And then when we would buy like pasta and that, I would just buy the gluten-free version. I usually eat like veggie versions of things anyway, like veggie pasta, which is obviously gluten-free because it's like made of lentils and stuff, not of flour. And yeah, so that was really, it was really easy to do when I was like dieting, because I was very strict. I wasn't eating out, like nothing was open then, so I wasn't eating out, and I didn't really have to adjust too much in my diet. And I was also doing like low FODMAP at the same time, so like yeah, I had like exact things that I would eat, and it was very easy. But now I obviously, like, that's why now I'm more like 60 to 70%, because I like sometimes there's not an option, or just sometimes I can't be bothered, so, or I forget or something like that. So now I just kind of focus on swaps. So I will just have gluten-free bread, gluten-free wraps, gluten-free pasta, gluten-free flour, gluten-free cakes. So in terms of like calories and stuff, the gluten-free is around the same. So I don't save any calories or anything like that. It's not any healthier for me at all. Like, I don't think, unless you were like doing what I originally did and going gluten-free, and you were like eating heaps of veggies and stuff because it would like compensate, that would be the only way it would be healthier. I would say overall it's like, it's fairly easy for me to do now. Like, I'll look at labels, oh, like I eat like gluten-free chips. Yeah, I just know my like staple things that I have now, so it's like pretty easy to go shopping. I can look at labels and you can see it'll say like contains gluten or contains wheat or something like that. So it's really easy in that sense, compared to say like vegan. It's like you've really got to read all the ingredients, and it's really hard. Usually gluten, because obviously people are celiac, which is like allergy, so it's super easy. Everything's labeled really well now, and there's so many options for everything now, like that, compared to maybe say a few years ago, people were very limited and things tasted really bad, whereas now it's like, it's so easy. Like, I haven't had any trouble, other than the taste is not as good, the cooking is harder because things don't cook as well with gluten-free flour, and everything costs freaking more and it's smaller. So yeah, that's my gluten-free experience. I would say I'm probably going to just keep doing it because that's just what I'm used to now, and people might not agree with me, I don't know. Like, it's a bit of a touchy subject, because I know like back when it was like a big health craze, like I can see why it can get like, you know, a bit, why would you eat gluten-free unless gluten affects you? But I do actually think it affects me, and in an ideal world, I would probably like to cut it out completely and just see what happens. Ideally, I would like to actually just fix my gut in general, because it's just like a piece of crap. Like, it's really struggling. And yeah, I have always kind of thought that I have SIBO, but like someone that I follow went through the process of like getting it diagnosed and getting it treated and stuff, and it looked freaking hard and like expensive. And yeah, he like, to go on to get rid of SIBO, you have to do like a very restrictive diet, and I don't know why, maybe clean it out or something like that. And all he could really eat was like meat, like meat and eggs and stuff. And obviously I don't eat meat, and I'm like, would I die if I had to do that? I think he like only did it for a few weeks, and then he like, something happened and he stopped it. Now he's feeling crap again, so he's doing it again. But that's what I kind of did last year, and I felt heaps better. And yeah, but that also I think has to do with like I did like low FODMAP as well, which definitely helped, which I'll explain in another video, because that's just like a whole other thing. It's a whole other thing. But yeah, that's gluten-free. It's just my life now. It's fine. I know some people are like super gluten-free, and like, good on them. Like Sarah say, she never eats gluten, but she like gets really sick when she has it. So, but good on her for never giving in. It's probably because she can actually afford to buy the gluten-free base when we buy pizza. Like, I'm sorry, I can't afford an extra $4. Like, what do you mean? So yeah, I hope that helped clear some stuff up, because it's a bit of a like touchy subject, and I just wanted to make that super clear that that's why I do it. I don't think it's healthy, I just think it's best for me, because I'm pretty sure I'm like slightly intolerant. And yeah, thank you very much. Wow, I look very washed out with no makeup on in the freaking bright light. Look how white I am. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, it was a bit of a quiet one because I feel like Stefan can hear me. I'm like embarrassed. Oh, and my microphone's broken, so hopefully that you can hear me. So thanks for watching the video. I'm sorry for staring at myself the whole time. I can't help it. If it's there, I'm obviously going to look there. I should be looking at you know, but it's hard. Okay, thank you very much. I will see you next week.